Hey everyone, it's Jack, and today I'm going to take a look at EndeavourOS. And since this is the last video of the year, I thought I'd spice it up a little bit and put a little ambiance back there rather than the old standard green screen. So, yes, EndeavourOS. This looks like a really cool distro, and I'm out at the website right now. EndeavourOS is an Arch-based distro. Endeavour is actually part of the experience because it is a bit of an endeavor from what I understand. It's actually very easy to install, but it's very basic, kind of vanilla, so that way you can install all the stuff that you want yourself, which I think is really cool. And currently the latest edition that's out right now is the Atlantis Neo. And this was just released not too long ago, in time for the holidays. This is something that I've never looked at, and being that it's Arch-based, it looks like it's pretty solid. It has a Calamares installer in it. I'm liking that. So I think this is really something worth taking a look at. Let's get to it. I'm going to check out EndeavourOS. We're out at the website right now, and the page is really nicely done. This is a beautiful website here. It looks like it's really a project that people have put a lot of work into. And these are the different flavors that we have here. We have the Xfce, Mate, Gnome, Gnome, Cinnamon, Budgie, LXQt, Plasma, LXDE, and then the window managers, i3, Way, OpenBox, and BSPWM. So that's really cool. What I want to do today is I want to look at the Xfce flagship edition that they have here. I'm going to run out here to the Neo download here at under the download links, and also in addition to just looking at it, we're going to pimp it up a bit. So we're going to turn Endeavour into Endeavour Ultimate, hopefully. So I'm going to do my best to try to pimp this up, and in the meantime I'm going to go and download this guy. Here it's showing that it's got the latest drivers and so forth. And then the Calamares. So there's a little bit of info here on the website. And then these are some download links. So I'm just going to pick the one closest to me, which looks like it's probably Canada. So I'm going to click the download link on that. And then I'm going to grab this baby, load it in, and I'll be right back. Okay, here I am at the boot screen. And so I got the image loaded in. And so we're going to just boot right into the live edition, and then I'm going to run over the installer real quick, and then from there we'll get on the actual desktop and see how it looks. So here we have our live environment, and nice wallpaper. I like that already. That's looking good. So I'm going to just bring up the terminal here, and I'm going to adjust my resolution real quick. So I'm going to just do a xrender here, -S. And yes, 1020. What? That should be 1920. So there we go. All right, that looks better. We'll just close that out. So here's our live environment, and this is looking really nice right off the bat. Wow, for Xfce especially. Nice. So here we got our Whisker menu, and I like the way they got that kind of stretched out here with the icon view for the apps. That's pretty cool. I like that. Never really thought of setting it that way. So here's our installer, and we have two methods. We have the online and the offline. The online version, if you click that, then you'll have options in there to choose different desktop environments. So the offline will go with the default, which is the Xfce, and that will have the Endeavour theming and so forth. Whereas the online option will be different choices like Cinnamon and the options that you saw there on the website. So I'm going to go and hit offline here. And then we should get the Calamares installer up here any second now. And we got a console opening up here. So I guess we can kind of see what's going on in the background. That's cool. And there's our Calamares installer. Looking good. American English, that's just fine. So I'm going to go with the default there. and it's auto-detected my zone. So I'm going to select erase disk here, and for our swap, I'm going to do swap with hibernate. That's always a good choice for hibernation mode. And then my username, and then we'll put in a password. So pretty standard Calamares install. I'm going to hit next. Very easy peasy. I'll hit install and install now. So that's nice to see. Arch install, it's very simple to go. All right, so I'm going to let this go ahead and do its thing, and then I'll be right back. We're finished, and so I'm going to hit the restart now, because it looks like everything went okay. That didn't take too long, just maybe 5 or 6 minutes. So I'll let that do a restart, and then I'm going to boot existing OS because the media is still in the virtual drive. And nice splash screen too. I like the purple in there. That's pretty cool. I like it when they give a little extra on the grub screen there. So I'm going to sign in. And here we are. We got in. So it looks like the install went well. And our welcome screen is popping up here. I'm going to change my resolution again. Just going to hit set and quit. There we go. That's more civilized. All right, so nice welcome screen. Here's our Whisker menu. That's all looking good here. So I'm liking that. And we have update mirrors. That's one of the options here that we're greeted with on the welcome screen. So I think I'm just gonna run that. That's always a good idea before you do an update. And the defaults all look fine there. So I'm gonna just hit OK. And then that's going to kind of download the mirrors. And usually this doesn't take too long if you have a decent internet connection. And then when these mirrors download, then it should update the Pacman comp file, I believe it is. Or the mirrors file, I mean. And so there it is. That's our mirror list. And that'll save it to the Xfce pacman.d mirror list. Gonna authorize that, and here's now it's showing our updates available, so that's good. Let's click on that and see what we got available. So here's our console, and put in my password, and that doesn't look too painful. That's pretty good, so I'm gonna hit yes there. And so while that's updating, let's see what else we got here. So here's our default wallpaper. I think that'll just change your wallpaper back to default, but if you go up here, you can choose a wallpaper, or you can download more, it looks like, from the maybe community or somewhere. So let's open the desktop, and looks like there's only one wallpaper in there. That one wallpaper, though, is really nice. I like it, actually. So that was a great choice. So it looks like downloading more would be a good option. These are our icon options here for the desktop. So I'm going to turn on the home folder, and then let's see, maybe the trash. And how about removable drives? That's my virtual CD. I guess I can turn that off. So I think that's good. We'll put a home folder up there in trash. So if we look in here, only the backgrounds folder at the moment, but we'll let those updates run. And I'm going to click this guy here and see if I can kind of get them at the same time. So it looks like it's going out to maybe the Endeavor community server somewhere, and it's pulling off some more. So that's kind of neat. Be kind of curious to see what the additional wallpapers are. And the old password again. Okay. So, nice. It looks like it opened up our wallpaper directory here, and it put them in the EOS community. That's cool. And didn't mean to close that. Let's open that again. Okay, so if I go here to backgrounds, now I got to navigate out there. Before it did it for me. Anyway, here we go. So EOS wallpaper community. That looks like the one that we just downloaded. I'm gonna open that up, and hopefully we'll get wallpapers. And there they are. They're kind of populating in, and wow, a lot of nice varieties. They look like they're all got the Endeavor logos on them, so they're kind of the branded wallpaper. And they are nice looking wallpapers. Really love the color schemes in these papers. They just work really well. So that's kind of a cool one. Wow. Yeah, I like that one. That really kind of personifies the whole Endeavor philosophy to me. I mean, here's an astronaut. He's out there on another world, on an Endeavor, not knowing what to expect, but it's an exciting journey, just like Endeavor. So, I like it. I think that was a good choice there. We'll go with that. And then these are where you can kind of go back to your default themes if you want, or switch to a vanilla theme instantly. So that's pretty handy. I like that. And our updates went through okay, I see, and it looks like a reboot is recommended. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do a reboot here, hit restart, and that'll kick in our updates. And we're back. So there we go. Nice. Now we can explore and do stuff. So let's see what we got here. No HTOP, so I'm gonna download that. We'll do Pacman-S, and let's throw in Neofetch there too while we're at it, just for fun. Okay, that was quick. So let's HTOP in. Wow, that's pretty good. 488 or megs, I mean. Wow. 488. So that's really pretty darn good. Not bad. Of course, we are in Xfce, and it is lightweight anyway. Going to do a Neofetch here. And so we're at 5.15.11, our kernel, and we're running Xfce 4.16, of course. So all the latest and greatest, and that is nice looking Neofetch. I like it. Very cool. All right. So got my curiosity satisfied. Let's take a look at Firefox because I want to do something. Now let's get to the good stuff. Instead of messing around too much, let's start ricing this baby. First, I'm going to go out to aor.chaotic.cx, and I got a link below, by the way. And so here we're at the Chaotic AUR website, and here we can install the Chaotic. Chaotic is really cool. This is something that pulls off things from the AUR, and it automatically builds them into binaries and stores them on this huge server. I don't know exactly how it works. All I know is all these hard to find things that typically you need to get out of the AUR seem to be in Chaotic AUR, and they're built into binaries, so you don't have to have them built or use Yay or something like that. You're getting binaries direct. So this is cool. I'm going to go into super user mode here because I notice they don't have sudo in their what we're going to copy and paste. So it'll just make it easier to go in as a super user. I'm going to copy this, and this is going to allow us to add the Chaotic repositories. So now I'm going to do the same thing down here because I just kind of pasted that in right there. So I'm going to go to Pacman key, copy that line, go back in the terminal, right click and paste, hit enter, and that did a lot. So now we're going to go to the next one, copy it, come back, paste it in the terminal, hit enter, and yes. Okay, now we're going to edit our Xfce pacman.conf file. So I'm going to copy this line because that's going to go at the end. And so now I'm going to go in here and I'm going to use nano, sudo nano /Xfce /pacman.conf. And this is our pacman.conf file. And I'm just going to arrow down all the way to the bottom. And then maybe just give it one more, press enter, just to give it more space. Paste that in, press another enter key, just because I like space. And then I'm going to do a Control O to write that out. And we did that, and then Control X to get out. So now I'm going to do a sudo pacman syy, and that'll sync everything. And there's a chaotic AUR. You can see it down there, right here. That's cool. So now we got the chaotic AUR added. So now if I wanted to download something that was hard to find, like PopcornTime or Hypnotix, let's do a sudo pacman -s. And we'll throw Hypnotix in there. And I know PopcornTime is hard to find. And there it is. It found it right off the bat. So we'll hit yes. And as you can see, it's downloading it off the chaotic AUR because that's probably the only repository that that's found on. If it wasn't for that, I'd have to go in and use Yay or Yower or something like that and then, you know, build it, which takes longer. So this is really cool. That's my first mission. We got that done. And that really enhances an Arch distro, in my opinion. So here we go. We got our Hypnotix. And it opens right up. And you can tell that's the latest version. It's got the search thing in there and all that. And then here's our PopcornTime. So we can open that up too. And then by default, the APIs aren't loaded in there. But that's easy. We can just hit Change API Server, click in here. And they just kind of show up down here. So I'm going to hit YTS for the movies. And then for the series, we'll do the other one there, the popcorn.rupk. And now it's showing that it was successful for both. So I'll just hit the little restart thing on that green notification. And then it should start back up with all the stuff loading in. There it is. Nice. So these are all kinds of movies you can watch. Stream, and then here's a bunch of things from different TV series from all kinds of seasons, so that's pretty awesome. So if you have nothing to do, this is something that can pass the time a little. And then here's our search up here. So if you're looking for something specific, like oh, maybe a classic like Twilight Zone, let's see if that's in there. Yes, there it is. Even the original like 1960s series. Wow. And then a couple movies it looks like. That's cool. So yes, popcorn time. Get out the popcorn. So there we go for chaotic. Now let's maybe work on the aesthetics a little bit. As you can see, we got, you know, just basic things here. Almost nothing, just one graphic app, one Firefox, and a multimedia. We just got the MPV player by default, and then our standard settings. So it's a very bare bones, which is great. That means we can put the stuff that we want in there, and there's no bloat to worry about or nothing to uninstall. So I'm liking that. And here's some nice Endeavor utilities that are really handy. I like that those are added in there. That makes the experience even better. And so here's our Whisker menu settings, and I'm just going to jump in here and just select switch categories by hovering, because I noticed that they weren't switching. You had to click on them, and I like them to just kind of change when you hover. So that's better. So that's another change. So if you like them to hover automatically or change automatically when you hover, that's how you do it. Now let's go on our appearance. And the appearance also, you know, very vanilla. So that gives us room to kind of pimp it up a bit. I'm opening up Thunar here so we can kind of see our changes better. And then here's our icons. It looks like we got arc and paper and so forth. So yeah, the paper is okay, but yeah, still kind of plain Jane in a way, but somehow cool at the same time. And if you add something, you can add it manually, but there's a better way. I'm going to go out to xfcelook.org. It's xfce-look.org. And here we can get all kinds of themes and icon themes and all that good stuff right here. So here's the search window, and I can just put something in the search window like suite, and that should find us the suite theme. And this should work actually in Xfce. So here we got an install button where we can install it directly onto our computer using OCS-URL. And that is now easy to do because we have the chaotic. This will pull it off the chaotic repo. Otherwise, you'd have to get it off the AUR. And there it is. So I'm just going to hit Y, and it's got a binary already for us. How cool is that? Another one for chaotic. So now if I come over here and I hit install, I can just select what flavor I want. And I think I'm going to go with the sweet dark here. We also got, the standard and other variations. So I'm going to hit install here, and we'll install the dark theme. Being the first time this is being used, I'm going to hit always show. And then over here, OCS URL is what we want to keep. And again, I'm going to check always and open link. And only have to check that once. And now we can install this directly. And this is going to just download it right into our .themes folder in our home folder directly. So that's pretty nice. Now let's find something else, like maybe an icon theme. How about Flattery? Flattery is a pretty decent icon theme. You got all kinds of choices, and highly rated theme too, 9.3, so that's pretty good. Here we got all these different colors, gray, green, and orange, and so forth. I think I'm going to get the Flattery Master. That contains all of these guys. Difference is, if you download the master, it's not going to actually install it directly, so it's going to give me an archive, and I'm just going to open that up. And I'm going to get this just so you can see both ways that you can do this. And there's actually a third way too if you want to use a terminal. However, this is probably easy for most people. So I'm going to open up my home folder, and then I'm going to show my hidden files because you can't actually see the folder. So I'm going to go in here, and then here we have the icon folder is missing, but here, there's our .themes. We're going to need to create a folder for our icons, and that's going to be called .icons. Okay, and so this is where we want to put in our icon theme, but we don't want to put in the Fiery Master or Flattery. We want to go inside there and then choose all these, and then put those all individually in there. So I just dragged it in from my archive manager, and now they're all sitting inside my .icons folder. Cool. So that should work. Let's do another. How about Win 11? For you guys that like the Windows 11 look, we can get some icon themes for them too. And that's kind of cool looking. I'm going to hit install. And then we got black, we got the standard Windows 11, and then blue, green, and all that. I'm going to go with this guy and hit OK. And then close. And then let's get the purple one too. That looks kind of cool. Gonna hit install, OK. And close. And actually, if I did this first, it probably would have automatically generated that .icons folder because I believe that's where it's installing them by default. So now let's go into our settings and appearance. And if we look in here now, we can see our sweet dark theme that we downloaded. That's our overall theme. And wow, that looks a lot nicer. I like that. Nice. That's got a great look. And then let's choose some icons. How's the Windows 11 dark look? Yeah, that looks nice. Wow. Very cool. And then these are Windows 11. That's the light theme. So if you see that the icons on the side are dark, so when you go dark, then the icons are visible again in the side pane. And purple looks great. Wow, I love that. That is too cool. I think I'm going to keep that one. Let's do that. And then I'm gonna just, our location selector, I'm gonna make that this, and then it really pops. Having that path bar style, or the other style there. That looks great, wow. And I turned off hidden files there so we can kind of see it, designs there in the folder. And so here we got flattery. So if you want a different kind of look, that's like the teal. We got yellow here. But I like the Windows 11 purple. I think that looks really cool. I'm gonna go with that. And I love this suite styles and the Windows buttons up here on the border. However, you don't see it over here. So, how are we gonna get it on that border? Because it shows up on appearance, but what we gotta do actually to get it to show up on the borders of all the other windows is we gotta go down here and go into our settings. And actually, I think I'll just go down here and just click in the lower left. And then right here, Window Manager. And here you got this themes side pane. If we just scroll down, our suite should be in there. There it is, Suite Dark. When we hit that, boom, that changes it on all the windows. So now we can see that up here. We have our Suite Dark theme applied to our window border up there on the top. So that's how you do that to make it more even. Yes. Excellent. So let's close that a little bit. What else can we do? Yeah, the menu looks great now. I like that. Much better look. Excellent. How about our taskbar? Let's just jump down here and change our panel settings. So let's go into Preferences. And here we got our window icons, and then over here we got like another panel, task icons, I believe. I forgot what they call them exactly. So, and also I'm going to take out the transparency on this, just kind of see how it looks. And I like that. Yeah, that black kind of looks good with that. So I'm going to kind of do that. And then over here under items, I think I'm going to remove the window buttons here because we're going to replace it with something even cooler. Or you could leave them both in there if you want, but it looks better taking them out, I think. So I'm going to remove the window buttons, and that kind of frees up that whole space there. Then we're going to hit Add. Now I'm going to put in the dock-like icons, which I talked about in one of my previous videos, but we don't have it. So I got to go get it. So I'm going to do a sudo pacman-s xfce4 -dock-like. That's the name of the plugin, -plugin. And again, this is available through the chaotic. Otherwise, you got to build it from the AUR or from source. But since we have chaotic, now I can hit Add. There it is, right there. Nice. So we got the binary right off the chaotic AUR, so I just hit Add there. And since I'm in here, I think I'm going to do the Show Desktop as well and add that in. Because I kind of like having that in the taskbar as well, or a panel is what you should call it. So here's our dock-like taskbar. And it's at the end right now. Now you could right-click and select Move. However, that doesn't really work for this. If you try to do that, you just end up moving the panel preferences. So yeah, we don't want to do that. Of course, I could have just had something off too. You could try that again, I guess. But I'm pretty sure that's not. Yeah, the panel just kind of sticks to it there, our preferences. So what you really want to do is you just want to go down to the bottom and select the dock-like taskbar, and then use the arrow keys and just pop them up, and you can see that it's moving down there on the space bar there, or on the panel. So now we got it over next to our other guys, but it's kind of crowded, so I'm adding a separator here. And then I'm going to bounce that up and put it right up above our dock-like taskbar, which would be right there. So there's our dock-like, and we got our separator up there. So now there's a little separator between our other icons and our launcher icons. And I'm going to hit Expand here. So I went into the settings there for the spacer, and that'll push it right out into the middle. I like that a lot better. And then I'm going to click on the dock like, and I'm going to go in the settings here. And I'm going to check this box, show preview thumbnails for open windows. I think that's really cool because you really couldn't do that before in Xfce. Now you can see the previews. Before you had to install like Compiz and you could get something like that, but that was really the only way. Now we got a panel item. That's so cool. So there you go. That's the dock-like plugin. And to me, I think that is such a nice enhancement for Xfce. It's really great. I'd like to see that become standard sometime. And for some reason, I'm out, but it's still showing a red border around my panel. Close that again. Yeah, red border's still there. I'm not quite sure why that's not going away. That should disappear when I get out of edit mode. I'm going to go in my console here and I'm going to type in Xfce4-panel-R. That should reset it. Failed to restart. Try that again. Failed to restart. What the heck? Oh, you know what? I gotta close this out and then just go back in. Let's spell it right. Put a hyphen in there. Okay, that got rid of it. So for some reason, I guess just restarting the terminal and retyping it fixed it. I'm not sure why, but that allowed me to restart the panel, so we're good. And we don't have a software package manager in here, so I'm gonna a GUI. So I'm gonna put in sudo pacman-s pamac-aur, and that should be available in chaotic. It is. So there we are. See, all the good stuff we want are coming out of chaotic. It's such a handy repo. So now let's go in there, type software, and there it is, add remove software. I'm going to open up our Pamac. And so even though I like installing from the terminal different software packages, if you want to have the option of installing from the GUI, Pamac is really nice. I like using that for Arch. And here you can see your different repositories, and there's the chaotic that we added in. So nice on the settings there. And even though chaotic pretty much covers all the good stuff, log in. You can go and turn on the AUR also under third party. These are like parallel downloads. It's set for 4 by default and some other settings, which I just leave. But I would just, you know, hit enable AUR support anyway there. Because you might run into something someday that's not in chaotic, but I never have yet. Okay, so let's look for something like Inkscape and let's install it just to make sure everything's cool. That's the latest and greatest 1.1.1-5. Nice. And here you can see the picture and a description below. And so that's kind of nice to have with a GUI as opposed to the terminal, because you can get a little more info on something, especially if you're looking for something and you're not sure. So that's good to see. I'm just going to apply that. And these are some extras that it's going to add in there, and I'm good with that. So now we're installing. And it looks like it's going to install the actual app now. The other thing was the extras, I think, that it was adding in, and probably dependencies and stuff. I didn't look at it that close. So now we could launch it right from here. Why did I do that? Let me go back in. Okay, so here's Inkscape. It's in our menu. That's why I did it, because I wanted to show you where it was. So here we go, and I like going with the defaults, the Inkscape default and all that, so that's good. So we'll just hit save and thanks. Then here we can choose a template if we like. I like using the video at 720p, so I'm going to go with that. And it looks like everything came in nice. Yes, looking good. All right, so there's Inkscape. That all just kind of went smooth, no hiccups. There's all our icons from our different tools, like if we want to draw a square or a rectangle, we can do that. So yes, Inkscape. Oh, okay. That was Inkscape. So we got our software installer now. And again, this is a fresh thing here. I'm going to add these actually into my side pane because I like having these little additions. And actually the first one you don't want to drag in there because it ends up in the desktop. You got to be really careful when you drag it. So I'm just going to cut that and paste it back into my home folder. A better way to do it actually is just to right click and go to send to and then side pane, and it'll put it there. Once you got that one in there though, you can kind of drag the other ones, but you just got to be careful. Make sure there's a single line like this, single purple, and then it'll pop right under it. And then the music, we'll do that. We'll do the same with the pictures. And it's creating a shortcut to each one of these folders. And maybe the videos. There we go. So now we got a nice shortcut from the side pane. Easy access to the most used access folders. And you can drag any folder in there actually, but those are the ones I typically have as a base. So that's an easy way to do it in Thunar. So let's jump back in our terminal and do some more cool stuff. I'm going to do a sudo pacman-s wine-staging and then Winetricks. I'd like to install wine, password, and hit enter. And this is going to install the latest version, the staging, which is 7.0-1, it looks like. So having wine on here is kind of nice in case you ever need to run a Windows application. I rarely need to run a Windows application, but I do have a trading app that is Windows based, so I like to have wine to run that. And so it's kind of nice. You never know when you might run into some cool game or something that's Windows only, and so having wine on here will allow you to run that. And most Windows apps, there are some heavier things that might not work on wine, but for the most part, most stuff does work pretty well. Oh, wow. Now we got it pimped. The ultimate Endeavor. Yeah, so I'm really liking the way this looks. And actually, if I jump up a little bit, we can kind of see the Endeavor logo. And so this is just a really beautiful wallpaper. I mean, it's gorgeous. And this whole OS is really great, this whole distro. I really like this Endeavor, especially after pimping it out a bit, has made it into a really nice, super comfortable distro. And so this is one reason I really like Endeavor, is that it gives you that ability to just kind of work with it yourself. And they did all the hard stuff for you. So they went and put all the scripting together so you can set up your desktop and just get your whole base in there effortlessly with the ease of Calamares. Yet they kind of gave you the canvas, I guess is a good way to put it. And now you can paint on it. And so you didn't have to build the canvas or stretch it or, do all that stuff. They did all that for you, and now you got the canvas. You can build it, you can rice it up, you can add what you want to add in there, and you don't have to worry about removing bloat. Endeavor is really a nice distro, and I would highly recommend this for anybody that wants to play around with Arch and customize it your way. The pimping that I did here, getting this riced up a bit, was just kind of my own style, my own way of doing things. And so you may want to add other things in it or theme it totally different, but this is one way you can do it. There's all kinds of possibilities. You can even take the panel down on the bottom and move it up to the top or on the side like a Unity type setup. So there's just an endless possibilities that you can do. So yes, I definitely give Endeavor double thumbs up. This is something that I could recommend to anybody, really, even my grandma, even to somebody's grandma. I could recommend this and they could use it. If you want to try Endeavor, I say go for it. Grab it, stick it on a VM, put it on hardware on a laptop. I think you're going to have great results with it. And with that, I hope this review was helpful. And if it was, don't forget to leave that thumbs up and hit subscribe. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time.